Welcome to the first episode ever of Coffee with Conn. I thought it was kind of a clever name, but Coffee with Conn, first episode, okay? And then you might be wondering, like, what is Coffee with Conn? Like, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, what are we doing, Connor?
It is a fair question, okay? So, two of my favorite things: coffee, conversation, right? So why not make a series where I can drink coffee and have conversation with people? Talk about whatever we want, formal, informal, fun, serious, whatever. Have real conversation because it's real life, and we're just gonna enjoy it. So sit back, relax, whether you're watching or listening. I hope that it's entertaining. I hope it brings you value in some way. Thanks for watching, and it's gonna be a good time. So first episode, Coffee with Conn. Okay. So yeah, that's the basis behind this. Okay. Now I need to introduce my first ever guest. This here. So that was a little like power move.
You do whatever you gotta do, man.
First guest on this show, Mr. Grant Stichter. Woo! You know, like I was thinking, like the whatever, like the animated claps or whatever. Yeah, exactly. So some of you guys might know him, and others of you might not. So I'm gonna give you a brief intro, and then you can tell us anything else that you want to know.
Okay.
Grant and I first met our sophomore year in the residence hall that we were living in because we were both resident assistants or RAs, and so like we had to supervise like 40-some-ish kids or other students.
Adults.
I don't know if they were adults. They were adults. They were all adults. Yeah, they're just younger than us, most of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we were both RAs on different floors. We were both RAs, and we went through the thick of it together in some ways. We definitely experienced some trials and tribulations and some weird ass stuff.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
But so anyways, that was the first time we met, and kind of developed a really cool friendship out of that. And now like we're freaking roommates. And this is like our house. Like this is our fireplace. Like pretty dope, right? This is like 1940s house, something like that.
You're asking the wrong person.
Okay, I think this house was built in 1940s. So we got like pretty cool fireplace, nice ledge for the coffee. You know,
it's beautiful.
It is. It's beautiful.
It's a nice place.
Yeah, it is. And so Grant and I have had some really cool experiences together, whether it was RA. We got the chance to go to the Grand Canyon together on a Tri-S trip where we were traveling with a group from Anderson University. Pretty cool stuff. And so we've had some cool experiences. We also have a passion for watches, which we can get into a little bit later if you want. But is there anything else that you'd like the people to know about you?
No, that's pretty much it. That sums up our relationship. That sums up how we met, what we're doing now, where we're going. Yeah. Like, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, no, okay, right on.
That was a beautiful intro. I'm very pleased.
Thank you, man.
I'm pleased with that. That makes me feel good.
That's good, man. Well, you're important. I'm just honored that you did it on my show. Yeah, we've had some interesting experiences together, and one of the first ones that I remember that was a more positive one after kind of the thick of RA experience. We both, obviously, like I said, we both loved watches, and I was looking to invest in one.
Okay.
And it just so happened that you had a watch that you were trying to sell.
Yes.
And I was quite interested. I remember it was the end of the year, and we were like, I came up to your room, and I was like, bro, so you trying to get rid of this watch? He's like, yeah. And you gave me a price, and now it's on my wrist, you know? Like, it's freaking great, you know? I love it.
Yeah, that was what, the end of sophomore year?
I think so. That was like right when we got done with RA's like celebration, and
oh my gosh,
that's one way that I celebrated.
Yeah,
paid for that watch.
Yeah, no joke. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that was the end of sophomore year.
Yeah.
Thought it was sooner than
well, it feels like forever ago though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's freaking crazy.
Man.
Yeah. What got you into watches?
I don't know if there's a specific thing that got me into watches. I guess it's been something that I've enjoyed quite a bit. My dad has a watch that he bought in Switzerland. So you know that? Like,
no, he got it in Switzerland?
So my parents met on like a singing tour. We talked about that before. They met.
Yep.
They're from different sides of the continent. Mom's from Canada, dad's from Bremen up north. So they met. They go on this thing. They tour the world. They sing. It's a long story.
Yep.
Long story. Not important. However, Dad purchased this watch in Switzerland. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
No clue. But he keeps it in that like junk drawer that everyone's
uh-huh.
got. Like all old people have a junk drawer, and so like my dad keeps his watch in that, and so that's the first watch I remember seeing. He would wear it occasionally. I've offered to like service it for him and get him a new battery, but it doesn't. It's really small. It would be considered like a traditional piece, like definitely a dress watch.
Yep.
Leather band. I have no idea what it is, but it's tiny. It probably wouldn't fit what he's wearing today very well. He wears it under his shirt sleeve and all that good stuff.
Okay.
But he's got that, and I remember seeing it, and he's
Yeah.
never let me wear it. I've offered, I want to fix it for him. He won't let me get it because he won't wear it. So it's like, no need to fix it. I'll fix it one day for like their 30th wedding anniversary
That's
or something cool like that. But that's kind of that'd be the first watch I remember. And now it's like I have an obsession with very expensive timepieces.
Dude, it's
which is an issue.
Yes, it is.
That doesn't fit well with my budget. It doesn't fit well with my lifestyle. Like, I can't just show up with like an $8,000 watch
I know.
to work and not like feel out of place.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of stuck in that middle now.
It's so hard, and especially like if like most people like listening, they're like, what, $8,000 watch? Like, what are you talking about? But like seriously, those are like the watch. Both of us are passionate about those kinds of watches that are that's like beginning level, like or 5,000 and up. You know, like, and it's just like it's a horrible obsession to have.
Yeah, it's not a good place to be. Like,
No.
I could buy a new car, or I could buy a Rolex.
Yeah.
I could drive places. I could do things. I could pick up groceries. I could go to work.
Yep.
Or I could wear a Rolex and not do any of those things.
It's true.
So
Very
again,
true.
like
Priorities,
how this
desires.
works out. Like you know what I'd like to do with my next $8,000 is purchase a Rolex. What will I do? Probably save it responsibly like an old man. So that's me.
That's fair, you know, and I think that's admirable. Maybe one day, you know, you'll be wealthy as crap, and you'll be able to invest in one of those pieces.
Yeah, it's an investment piece.
It is. It really is. And like, I mean, they talk about cars, how like they depreciate the second you drive them off the lot or whatever. But like, honestly, a lot of those kind of luxury watches, like they're really, like they hold their value, you know. Like I'm super into vintage watches right now, right? And some of these watches from the 1970s, luxury watches, right? So whether it's a Rolex or a vintage Tudor, vintage, not Omegas as much, but some of these like crazy, like just older pieces are still anywhere from 4 to 25, or some of these pieces are over like 80,000. You know, it's like crazy how they hold their value, and that just shows how much of an investment piece it is, and how much story it has. You know, like the idea, like you hear a lot of times of people that like pass their watch down to their kid, or a grandfather who. Or a grandmother who has a watch, and that gets passed down to the grandkid when they pass. You know, those kind of things that just hold so much sentimental value. I don't know, man. That's what I love about them.
Yeah, gotta be able to pick the right one.
Yeah.
Gotta be able to know what's going to be in demand later, and that's a skill that I don't have. Not yet.
Oh yeah.
Not yet. We'll figure it out.
That's right. Well, and it's got to be something you enjoy, right? Because if it's a passion, like it'd be easy to be like, oh, this is the watch to have, so I'm gonna have it, right? But I feel like there's so much more to it that's like I genuinely enjoy this watch, the life that I get to live with it, the stories that I get to share with it, which most people just don't. You know, a lot of people just don't understand, and that's okay. It makes sense. But for us, it's like, yes, we get it, and it makes sense, and we're seen as crazy for it, but it is what it is.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I initially got into them because my senior year, kid in my high school, worked at Fossil, right?
Okay.
And he like had just all kinds of watches, and I was like, man, I want to be like this kid. I mean, he's a really cool kid, and so I wanted to be like him, and so I was like, the money I like made off of work, you know, whatever. Like I just first piece went to Kohl's, and got me a relic. I think I paid like $80, $100, something like that. Like, and some people are like, oh gosh, you just spent it. Like, that's kind of low end, right? And I should clarify, like, for us, we obviously love the luxury watches, but like even for some people that like
have a Timex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or watch it, it's like $15. But if they like it, like, you know, I love that. I love that I'm able to connect with them in the sense that it's a watch, you know, and it's something they appreciate. But I don't know. I got into it because of the status, because the kid that had him, like, he was a cool guy, and I wanted to be like him, right? So I got this watch, and it was like, well, he's got two. He's probably got like 4 watches, so I at least need to get 2. So then I got and then the obsession just hit, and now it's morphed into something I'm more passionate about. Just enjoy learning about, watching videos on that type of stuff. But I don't know, man. I love watches.
Well, I'm not oblivious to the fact that some of it is like a status symbol now. Like if you work your way up, like there's lots of industries where those things kind of like those materialistic things matter quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not oblivious to that.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a decent point.
It's
for
true.
sure. And
That's
then
true.
and also like I don't really care. It'd be so fun. Like I'm that kind of guy. Like I would do it anyways. We've talked about that before. Like I can see myself purchasing something like that really stupid, really quick. My next watch purchase will be for my wedding. Coming up. 115 days. Sabrina just told me. 115 days. Sabrina just told me, so I remember. That will be my next watch purchase, and that will hold me over for the foreseeable future.
So what would be the dream for that kind of watch? Like what does that watch look like for you?
Looking at a couple things.
Yep.
I think I really want an Omega Speedmaster Pro. Super nice. The ones that went to the moon.
Yep.
Really cool. Those are actually reasonably priced. Like you can get those in the used market like $2,500, $2,700.
Oh really? That's surprising.
Reasonably priced. Reasonably priced. Yeah. Okay. So that's bad. I know. Or a Tudor Black Bay GMT. Those things are sweet. I really love those. Those are not. Those would be like another $1,000 more than that, and that's a lot of money. Like that's a lot of money for the stage of life I'm in. Getting married, like doing all these things, like that's a lot of money to like put towards something like that. And so, you know, of course, like that's a dream, and you spend decent money on an engagement ring, right? So I've talked to Sabrina. Listen. You know, I got you a really nice engagement ring. It's so cool. She loves it. I love it. We can compromise.
That's good.
Compromise is a good wedding word. That's a word I'm adding to my vocabulary. Compromise. We can get a watch for me. That's cool.
I like that. I think we could make a new trend with that. You know, we buy women, like at least for us, like we buy like so obviously you buy an engagement ring for your fiance, and if I get married one day, then I buy one for my fiance. And then on the return side, she buys me a watch. You get it, you know, and then we're
like,
both.
It's fine. Like I can buy it, and she can just put her name on it. Like I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
No shame.
Yeah. No. Still on your wrist.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell everyone that she got it for me, and we can go together. She can help pick it out. Like whatever.
Absolutely.
That's cool. We'll see how that works. I'm not sold on that idea actually working out very well for me. Unfortunately.
You know, at least you're being realistic about it, you know? Whereas I think a lot of times for me it's like, oh yeah, one day as a psychology major, I'm gonna have my dream watch of that Rolex sub. Like I'm gonna have it. Yeah, it's only $9,000, but you know, like obviously like we'll have the finances for it, you know? So but I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm still grateful for the watch that you gave me. In fact, I don't know if you remember this, but I wore it to the Grand Canyon.
You did?
I had a different, I had a different band on it because I didn't have this bracelet at the time. But it was kind of my different watch. Like I thought it was so cool. I don't know. And then it's like we would take pictures with our watches.
I still have those. I posted them on my Instagram.
Yes,
for sure.
Seriously,
I'm pretty sure you did too, because they were good photos. They were not.
They were absolutely great photos.
They were good photos.
You know, some people like they're like they right they're in a coffee shop or whatever, and you know they got to show like this is my time with Jesus, so they set their like Bible up, journal, like everything, laptop in front of it, Bible just on top corner, you know.
Perfect reading position.
Exactly. And then you know I see the right. But that's the same thing for me because you took the watch, we set it up right, just get it with the Grand Canyon. It was perfect. You know,
it was a great picture.
It was, and I part of me kind of feels bad in retrospect because that was the first photo and like the collage of all the ones I posted and all the people that were like really meaningful in my life and like that I enjoyed time with.
No
Like they
regrets.
no regrets. That's straight up. I love. Would you ever get that tattooed?
No. No possible way I'd ever get that. No.
Not even like a.
No.
I don't know.
No. Why?
I don't know. It was just a random
No.
question that popped in my head.
No, I would not ever get the no regrets tattoo.
Sorry, that's what man. My mind just goes.
I do
sometimes.
like tattoos. I think they're cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever find something meaningful enough to just tattoo it on my body.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's fair. I think I would hope someday to find something like where it's like it's meaningful enough to me, or like I want to like put it like on my like one of the things that I haven't gone on yet. This is honestly kind of like no regrets.
Okay.
But being like a recovering perfectionist, I was like, you know what, like, what if I got a tattoo of the word perfect with a K instead of a C?
Misspell.
Yeah, intentionally misspell it because I can't be perfect, you know?
Oh man.
No, I probably get so much crap for that,
Yeah,
but
I don't think that would go over very well, but
no.
you could try it.
But it would be meaningful for me. So I don't know. This is a thought upon. I'm not gonna let anybody that watches hold me accountable for that.
Okay.
But you know, that's just a thought that happened.
I would hope not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bro, I'm just curious because we were just talking about the Grand Canyon a second ago. Like, you were kind of finishing up college because you're out of college right now. Like, you're a real life adult, you know.
Yes.
And I'm obviously not.
Something
but like,
that, yeah.
you know, something like I'm a humble man. I don't appreciate that. But like, so you were like, that was last spring. So you were kind of in your last semester, and I was in last semester of junior year. Like that was a trip. So I'm curious, like what was like your reasoning for going on the trip?
I didn't have any reasoning. Legitimately, my sister, I had not gone on any tri-S trips previously. My whole thing with college was get it done.
Yep.
Like that second year of school, I worked a lot, did a lot of things that were for like career focus and things like that.
Yeah.
And Heather hadn't gone on anything either, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the Grand Canyon?" I think she was kind of joking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was joking, but it was like out of the blue. She's like, "Hey, you want to go to the Grand Canyon? Like Maggie's leading the trip. Like I think it'd be fun." I was like, "I guess I don't have any other plans." So like, I think it was just like, "Okay, let's go to the beach and see what happens." Yeah. So the reason I went on that trip was because Heather asked me as a joke, and then I was like, "Okay, let's go."
You took it seriously.
Yeah, I took it seriously, and that's how we ended up at the Grand Canyon.
That's so spontaneous, man.
Yeah, I don't do spontaneous things.
I was gonna say that's pretty spontaneous. I'm like that too, man. I'm not. I've never been spontaneous. Never been adventurous.
Yeah, I don't think it was really supposed to be like that. It was crazy. I'm glad I went though.
Yeah, me too.
Trip.
Me too. I remember Maggie, who obviously our leader. She one day in Mocha Joe's coffee shop. Shout out Mocha Joe's, right? She like came up to me. She's like, "Conn, how would you like to go to the Grand Canyon with me?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'd like to go. Like, absolutely." And then I was like, "Well, how much does it cost?" She told me the number. I was like,
it was kind of a lot.
It was a good amount of money, but it was like, it was so enticing to me because like you said, like I just agree with you, like not spontaneous, not adventurous, but it enticed me so much because it was adventurous, right? Like I'm very structured, very like focused, kind of career driven, like you just said, like very long-term focus, right? But I'm always like desiring adventure, right? I'm always like wanting to be more spontaneous. Like it was a perfect opportunity for me to do that, and I think I got myself a little in over my head because we freaking camped.
Yeah,
for
we
like
did.
I don't know how many nights we camped. It was so rough.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up camping in. So what week? What had that been? The third week of March. The third week of March, right? Apparently, we got there, and the people who were working at the Grand Canyon were like, "You guys got so lucky. Like,
yeah.
It's normally snowing, and like none of us had brought stuff for the snow. Like we got so lucky. We showed up with like t-shirts, shorts, like we're ready to go. And
a sweatshirt, right?
Yeah,
just in
sweatshirt,
case.
like just in case. I think I did bring a coat. I bought a coat specifically for the Grand Canyon, an expensive coat that I still wear, worth it, every single thing.
Absolutely.
Like that, I brought one pair of pants, an expensive coat I shouldn't have bought, like a hat, a winter hat, and like a tent. And I was like, let's go. Like, I'm ready. And they're like, man, you're lucky it's not snowing this week. I was like, yeah, you're dang right, we are. Like, I wasn't ready for snow. That was crazy.
And then we didn't even get to go on one of those trails because there was freaking snow and ice on it.
Yeah.
Remember the second one we wanted to go?
The third day it snowed, like they told us it was going to.
It was just
Yeah.
way colder than I expected it to be.
Also, the train sucked. I'm willing to say that.
Yeah.
I said that when we started. I was like, I'm not excited about the train. I made sure everyone knew that when we got on the train, and I was right. The train sucked.
How many hours were we on that thing?
Like 30. It was a long time. It was like more than a full like 24 hours.
Yeah.
I would say it was something like 30 or 32.
Yeah.
It was too much.
I don't know what your opinion on this, but I think going there was way better than going back.
Oh yeah.
Right, because going
Going
there
there
we
was
were
cool.
excited, like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was so cool.
Yeah.
We were running the train from Indy
Yeah.
to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, like this is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I remember for the first couple hours, it was like,
Yeah.
okay, like now what?
They had a really cool observation car, which was neat.
This is so cool.
I did love that was pretty sweet. I enjoyed seeing that.
Yeah.
But like we left Chicago and it got dark, so like you spent the first like
Yeah.
12 hours, so like, oh, it's dark outside, I can't see anything.
No.
And then by the time you wake up the next morning, you're like, okay, like I'm just ready to be there.
Yep.
Because you didn't sleep at all on the train. No possible way you slept.
I don't even know that they said they were better than like seats on an airplane, but I don't even think they were
Heck
at
no.
all. Oh, they were so bad.
I don't believe it.
Oh,
I don't know that.
we have other roommates in this house, of course, but like, I just guess who we're talking. Okay, so obviously that was not a great moment, and I get like, oh, do you remember when, like, on the way back we were in, was it, I think it was Arizona, I think it was Flagstaff, and like, we were supposed to like get on like the next one, and there were like 3 freight trains that came through,
Yeah.
and like we were so pissed off because it was like 3 a.m., 4
It was
a.m.
so
or something,
early, yeah.
and they kept telling us, it's the next one, and it wasn't the next one.
Yeah, like
Oh.
trains are flying by, like huge trains, like 100-car trains, like flying past our train stop, and we're all like, it's like the 5th day of the trip or 6th day of the trip, like we just been camping, so we're all like really tired and
Right.
grumpy, like we had to wake up early to go there, like we were not happy.
No.
Yeah, that was
Nobody else was happy either, especially the person that was helping us. Like he was not being very
No,
nice.
he was not happy either.
Well, I mean, it was like 4 a.m. Who would want to work
He was
3 or
just-
4 a.m. shift? Oh, that was so bad. Okay, well,
Yeah,
what was one of the like best moments of that trip for you?
Best moment of the trip. I actually really enjoyed the hiking, I think. Oh, a specific moment. My specific moment was hiking those trails. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I think I realized I actually enjoy spending some time outdoors. I think my ideal outdoors trip is probably drive there or fly.
Yep.
I don't want to ride a train. I'm not riding trains, okay? I'm driving, I'm flying, I'm getting there. I'm camping out of my car, something like that.
Yep.
I'm hiking a couple days and I'm
Yep.
going back home.
Quick
That's
check.
my
Yeah.
that's my ideal like stint with nature, or maybe even like hang out in the hotel. I'm about that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I liked it more than I thought. I would like to visit more national parks now because of
Yeah.
that trip.
Seriously though, I think that was that your first one?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was the first one for me too. I don't know what it was about it, because I'm kind of the same way. Like I like a good hotel room, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, I just do.
No regrets.
No regrets, yeah. But there's something about that trip that I was like, man, like, I mean, you can't take a picture that's like really captures it. But I think that was like, man, like, this is so cool, and it makes me only want to go see like what else is out there. I totally agree. What would be like one that you'd want to go visit?
I just watched Free Solo, the climbing movie. With
I just heard about
Alex.
that. I literally just heard about that from a friend today.
Yeah, awesome documentary. You should watch it. I
Okay.
bought it. I paid.
You bought it?
Yeah, I paid the like $12 or something stupid. But I bought it. You should watch it. It's awesome.
Okay.
I want to visit Yosemite and I want to see
Mm.
Half Dome and I want to see those kind of mountains and cliffs and like.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I've been through the Badlands. I've driven through that.
Yes,
I've been
me too.
out west. Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm gonna actually go and spend money to like camp in those places, I want it to be somewhere where it's a little bit like nicer, a little bit more green, things like that. The Badlands are cool to drive through, but they look the same like no matter where you're at. Like, I'm actually gonna go like hiking through the Badlands and like be super stoked about that. At least I think it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, and it's like kind of a desert. Like I don't know, there's gonna be way too.
It's not my favorite It's not my favorite ecosystem. If we're talking ecosystems,
if we're talking ecosystems,
it's
here.
probably at the bottom. Okay, let's be honest.
It's just so like rocky and like bland.
Yeah.
Like it's not colorful at all.
No, it's cool to drive through.
Yes, it is. And it's the same thing on both sides. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, let's get it.
That's my consensus.
Yes, I hear that. Dude, do you remember? Oh, well, it was like one of the last nights, and we went to Hermit's Rest or whatever
Yes.
to watch the sunset
Yes.
because that was the place that everyone told us that's where the best view of the sunset is.
Yes.
So we go there.
Yep. We get there like 3 hours.
Oh my, cool! Because we hiked all the way around, or not all the way, but like we kind of jumped.
I
But
got to it.
most of the way, we freaking hiked.
Yeah, it was awful.
We made a full day out of it. Get there,
Yep.
and it was so effing cold.
It was so cold.
And windy, dude. I don't even know what the I can't remember what the wind on that was.
It was nuts.
It was bad. I mean, it was probably like 50, 60 at least.
I don't know.
Oh my
It
gosh,
was a lot.
it was so. And the woman, the woman that lost her like hat,
Oh my gosh.
that went over the
Yes.
that went over, and then she went after
And
it.
we couldn't see it. Yeah,
No.
there was like it's like
Yeah,
the ledge.
yes.
Yes. And then there was a step down. So like we're sitting at a picnic table. You can't see from our point of view, like the edge is the edge. You can't see past that. You're like
Yep.
looking out, you can see the edge of the Grand Canyon, what we think is the edge of the Grand Canyon. You can see the opposite side. You can see some of obviously the valley there. Really cool.
Oh,
This
it's
lady loses her hood in the wind because it's not snapped on right or something, and it goes flying past us. And we're all like, oh, hey, there goes the hood. She's like, oh, she's going to lose it.
Yeah.
Here comes this lady, like, flying past
There goes
us, like, jumps over the edge of the cliff. We're like, oh my gosh, like, what's happening? And then she, like, she gets down there, like, we lose her, and she, like, holds up her hood, like, over the top of the cliff, like, okay, she made it, like, that's cool. And she, like, climbs back up.
Yeah, I literally thought
That
I
was
would
nuts.
almost witnessed a death there for a
Yeah, I
second.
know.
Like it was
That was
genuinely
crazy.
scary. No, you remember that video we took where we were like pretending to be like meteorologists? We're like,
Yes.
this.
Me, you, and Wes.
Yeah. That was so bad. Should we show them?
No.
Okay.
No, that's a
I
terrible
thought it was
video.
so funny.
That's a terrible video.
Okay, that's alright. Well,
Oh,
if you want to watch it, you can ask me.
Catch it on Connor's Instagram later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out, what's your Instagram name? Shout out your own Instagram name right now.
Sea Soil 8.
There you go. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, alright? Because this is my show and it's on
That's
my
right.
Instagram.
That's
Oh my
right.
god.
That's right.
I have too big of a oh my
I
god.
love it.
But man, it was some of those things that like we never expected like it to be like that.
It's crazy.
It was crazy. But it was like those are so memorable, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know, that's what I loved about it. It was I really tried to go into it with no expectations. Obviously
Mhm.
the adventure, the thrill was like so enticing to me. And yet there are a lot of things that I wanted to plan or wanted it to be. I wanted it to be really structured, but I wanted structure, right? Inherently. And obviously I wasn't given that.
No.
And so it was really like challenging for me, but like I think I really learned how beneficial it was to let go of some of those things and to like let the flux of life and like the adventure of it like take me sometimes. And so like it only makes me like want to learn that more and practice that more because it's like I don't know for you, but at least for me it's like my schedule, like my Google Calendar, freaking love Google Calendars. Like I just boom, 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 like go through the day, everything is scheduled, and there's like no time for life, right? There's no time to breathe, there's no time to do this, there's no, you know, it's just like I want to make more time for life, you know, because in reality it's like I'm choosing like my time and what I want to use it for. Obviously there are requirements, but I'm choosing how I want to use my time, and I think that trip showed me like more of who I want to be, you know. I don't know, man, I love that trip. It was just so good.
It was good.
It was so good.
Yeah.
How was it after like finishing that trip? You won in your Grand Canyon tri-trip, only tri-trip, right?
Yep.
And then you graduated, right? Then you're kind of thrown in the real world and stuff. Like what was that experience like? Because I mean, I'm just asking because I need a lot of help. I'm scared. I'm freaking scared.
No, you don't.
Right?
You're fine.
Because I've got my life figured out like everybody else.
Just like me. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I'm just curious. Like, what was that experience like for you? And like now, like you're kind of in it. You got a job. Like your life is going, life is moving. You're just kind of rolling with it. But like, what has that been like for you?
So the transition from school to job, getting a job, like
or just what was the
finishing up
transition?
school?
What was the transition like for you? And what does it feel like to be in that kind of space now as an adult, as someone has a job, someone's trying to figure life out still, but like in a new season?
I think overall it's been pretty easy.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think my situation is unique though, and I'm willing to admit that. I feel very fortunate. Lots of things fell into place for me that haven't fallen into place for other people. So I took a job before Christmas time.
Oh, that's right. You totally did accept.
Yeah, so I accepted a position with the place I'm at now, like in October. So I had a job lined up. I was working part-time at that place all through the school year. Like it was great. So that the transition was really easy. I worked through the school year, took the trip to the Grand Canyon, graduated, and then took a month off to just do whatever. I went home, hung out with Sabrina, family, did all that good stuff. I couldn't start until June 1st. So I graduated like May 5th. Took the rest of May off, started June 1st, moved down to Anderson. And I think it's been a good transition. Like, life's not too bad. I think a lot of that has to do with the place I'm living now. I think I really appreciate, moving from college right to living on your own is probably a pretty big jump for a lot of people.
Sure feels like that.
I think I've read lots of things that say like college students who graduate are like suffering with depression and anxiety, like all these things, like withdrawals from their friends. They feel like lonelier than ever, like they're working too many hours. Like there's tons of, I don't know if there's tons of research, but there's lots of like opinions and theories on that kind of stuff. But for me, it's been super helpful I'm not living on the college campus anymore, so I'm not with the 40 of my friends on the floor. I'm not with all like 100 of my closest friends. Like I'm not in that situation either, but I'm living in a place that's close to the campus. I'm living with some other guys that are really awesome. Like I've enjoyed that transition. It's made it super easy for me. And I feel really fortunate about that. Like for sure.
That's awesome. I think from my perspective, like it's really cool to see your experience, and even though like you say and you own like that it's been unique, you had a job kind of lined up, it was an easier transition than maybe most might experience. Like you're still in the thick of like learning how to be an adult, getting married, like just all these things that are like real life. And I think from my perspective, it's like, okay, I can at least see someone that obviously their situation is unique, as mine will be, as my friends will be, like, but like you're making it, right? Like you're surviving, you're living life, like, because I think that is real. Like this idea of like, I don't know what the next step is. I don't know what my life is supposed to be about, or even if like my major says that I'm going to go into this, and so I'm going to, whatever. I don't know. I still feel like there's a certain sense of like doubt, confusion, anxiety, about like what is the right thing to do. What do I need to do to get into the next, take the next step to get into that dream career, or the thing that's going to bring me the most success, or whatever. And because there's so much pressure, at least it feels like there's so much pressure on us to like figure it out, right? And obviously you said earlier, like you don't have it figured out right yet, and I've heard even 50-year-olds that say, I'm still got to figure it out, and so it's like I hear that, but then I don't feel that, and it's like, how do I manage those feelings? How do I enjoy this experience now, prepare for what's ahead, and still like be realistic about like seeing others that are making it okay, right? That it's not the end all be all. And at least for me, someone that's been like, that's so focused on like what's the right thing for me to do, and that's become my perfectionist tendencies. So it's like, what do I need to do? It's black and white. There's wrong decision, right decision. I need to choose the right decision, so I can feel good about myself, right? And I keep learning more and more, and I would argue you probably see it this way too, that it's like, maybe there isn't a right decision, maybe it just is, this seems to be a better decision, this seems to feel right,
and trying to see the realities, all that stuff that needs to be like accounted for. But like this feels right. This is my gut. This is what I want. Because all the time, at least for me, I know I'm kind of talking way too much, but like I think there's so much pressure. It feels like on me, and I would argue for other people too in this same situation. It's like, here's what I think I need to do. Here's what I should do, but this isn't what I want to do. Or they're telling me that I would be good at this, but like I don't even know that for myself. I don't know that would this be something that I'd enjoy. And at least for me, because my career is so like important to me, and I think for a lot of guys, it sure seems like career, job, success is like the big thing that we have to deal with. But like, or one of, but like, it's like I want to enjoy that. For me personally, I want to enjoy that because I'm going to spend so much time invested.
Spend a lot of hours at work.
Exactly, right? Well, and whether it's one job, whether it's a bunch of jobs, I want to enjoy it. And so it's like, how do I get past the fear of like not knowing what might be next, and being willing to like try something, or like, okay, this seems like a cool opportunity. I'm gonna take it, even if it maybe not the best decision, but I'm trying to make the best decision for myself. You know, I see that and I want that, but it's so hard to like kind of lock that perspective or mindset in. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think you are dealing with lots of things that everyone deals with. I don't think that's unique. We've talked about this before. I know specifically for myself. Like I deal with that stuff too. Like, how do you know what's right? How do you know what kind of career you want to be doing? Like, I'm 22. Like, am I gonna work at forever? Like, how am I supposed to know? Like, you don't know that kind of thing. But again, like, you don't want to make the wrong decision. Like, what's the right decision? Comparing yourself to other people and where they're at and what they're doing is deep. And so like again, you can tie it back to like, I want to buy an expensive watch, but like why? Like what do I really want to do that for? Like you can get into like a $9,000 Rolex and it has the same movement as a $3,500 Tudor. Like so like there you go. So like what you're seeing on the outside of someone else is like could be their like Instagram life and their perfect life and what they're telling you that's going on. You know, you can't compare your reality to what they're dealing with. And that's something that I personally struggle with a lot. Like, hey, what do I really want from life? What do I value? What do I want to spend my time doing? And the way I've structured my life, at least for now, allows me to do lots of those things, and I really, really like that. So I appreciate that for sure. Like being able to have the freedom and flexibility, like having an awesome job that allows me to do those kind of things. Like I get off work at 4 o'clock and I come home and I hang out, hang out with you guys, hang out with Sabrina. Like I work out and not a lot. I don't work out a lot.
You work out, bro.
I work out occasionally. Sometimes I think about running.
You do run. You don't think about it. You do run.
Sometimes I think about it. Sometimes I run. It's whatever. So like, but I can do all those things, be done by 5 o'clock. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I really, really appreciate that. So you have to find kind of what you value, and then forget. Who cares what everyone else is doing? Like, you don't know. Like, all right, someone else got. I don't know a good. I don't have a good psychology example.
That's okay.
A good finance example. So I'm doing lending, like, which is a respectable profession. Like, do I want to do lending forever? Like, I don't know, but I like what I'm doing right now. I like it a lot. But like the cool finance job is like investment banking or like hedge funds, like big New York, Wall Street, stock exchange, stuff like that. Like that's the cool thing to do. And like that's what you see on Instagram, that's what you see on Facebook, like everyone's talking about the coolest job they got, but like who cares what they're doing? That looks cool on the side, like from my point of view, but they're working 80 hours a week. They might be making tons of money, but they're not going out and spending it because they're working all the time, like they're in the rat race, they're doing all that stuff. So like it's cool. But you know what else is really cool? Like having a job that I enjoy, a culture that I really like, a boss that I respect and that respects me. And also like getting off work at 3:30 and like doing all this stuff, and then like, you know, having dinner at 5:30 and being done with my day. Like get up early, work, do whatever I want after work and be done by 5:30, and like those other people who are doing the cool things in life, like they're not even thinking about leaving work until like 7.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
again, like as you kind of transition to graduation, like what you really value, you gotta like you have to take all that from, you know, with a grain of salt. Like you don't really know what's going on.
That's true, and I think that's a really good reminder for me because, I mean, obviously a comparison thief of like all happiness,
Yeah.
whatever, and it's like,
It really is.
but it's so easy to, you know, and it's just like, obviously I want to have something I enjoy, you know, and I want to please whatever, all those influencers that I want to like please to make it seem like I'm doing okay.
Mhm.
But you're right in that like it's more about like what I value, obviously accounting for the things that need to be accounted for
Mhm.
with reality,
Mhm.
but like pursuing what I want, you know, because it's my life. And someone I heard this in a podcast once, I can't remember what it is, but it's like at the end of the day I gotta live with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I don't wanna live with like the regret of like, man, I wonder what would happen if, right?
Mhm.
If I would have tried this or whatever. And it's like I have to see it as my experience, accept it as my experience, and like enjoy it as that, you know, because it's really probably not the end all be all if I don't find something
Mhm.
before I graduate.
Yeah.
Even if it might not be as cool or as glamorous, you know.
Well, yeah.
And
Cool
to the
is relative, right?
cool is relative. The person that is working, you know, 70 hours a week or whatever, like maybe they don't enjoy their job, or maybe they don't feel like they have like interaction with people or whatever, and it's like, but we don't see that, you know, like you said, and so it's like I have to make decisions based on what I value. I have to make decisions based on what I want to experience in life,
Mhm.
and let comparison kind of just subside, because I'm choosing to pursue what I want, pursue who I want to be in my life,
Mhm.
and pursue like being the person I want to be, you know. And
Yeah.
easier said than done, and it
Yeah.
sounds good
Oh,
to
for
say
sure.
that out loud. Like
Oh,
it's
for
so hard
sure.
for me to live that out, but that's what I want, you know, because I know that's going to bring me the most fulfillment in life.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a really good point.
It's hard. It's difficult. And
Yeah.
like I can't say that I'm good at it. I know for a fact I'm not good at that. So
Yeah.
but having that realization now is better than like 10 years down the road where it's like, oh hey, like I borrowed way too much money to buy a car that I don't care about, live in a house that I don't care about, and I drive 45 minutes to work to a job that I hate because I was trying to, you know, like keep up with the Joneses, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you don't want to get yourself stuck in that either. You don't want to have your midlife crisis and be like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
here I am. I want to get to 35 or like 40 and be like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Yeah.
Like thank goodness like I made these decisions. Like I set boundaries in my life now, and like I knew what I wanted. I thought I knew what I wanted now, right? Like hopefully I can get to 35 and I've made very strategic decisions on what jobs I take and like what things I buy and where we live and things like that, and get to that age and be like, okay, like I'm really pleased with this.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I'm trapped doing something I hate.
Yeah.
That's my dream right there.
That's what I was gonna ask you, because like you're just talking about 35 being like looking back and be like, yeah, like I'm enjoying this. Because I was gonna ask like, okay, like what is the dream at 35? What is like that? I love that question, you know, because everybody's like, how's school? What are you thinking about after? You know, like and we hate that question, right? But it's like the second like you ask someone, or I get the opportunity to ask someone like, hey, like what's your dream? You know, people freaking light up. The passion is like, thank you for asking me, because I want to share about what gives me life, you know. I was about to ask you. I'm so glad. So restate what the dream is for you, whether it be at 35 or something in your life that you want to experience.
Yeah, I don't know what my dream is. I mean, I got no idea.
That's also fair.
I want to. My dream right now is to retire early. That's my dream. That's it, man. I wanna.
That's
okay,
fair.
this is it. I wanna retire early. I'm gonna buy a Porsche, and I am going to drive that around and golf a lot. I'm gonna do it when I'm still young, because I'm gonna retire early. So like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have to like make lots of money somewhere between now and like 45 or 50.
Yeah.
If I could retire by 50, man, that's it, dude. If you can save strategically, put your pennies away, blah blah, get to 50 and retire, that's the dream. That's it. And then who cares what I do after that? Because I'm gonna be retired.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick up golf.
Yep.
I'm gonna pick up who knows?
Badminton.
Something. I'm gonna pick up country club sports.
Yes.
Tennis. Golf. Tennis. Badminton. Those are the kind of things I'm gonna pick up when I retire at 50.
I love that.
Yeah.
I freaking love
That's
that.
it. That's the dream.
Cool. That's so cool. I don't know that listen, psychologically, I don't think I'll be retired by 50.
Maybe
Probably be like
start
85.
practice, you'll be good.
Yeah,
Actually,
we'll see.
you can just hang out forever, dude.
Yeah.
Tell me about your feelings. Sit down on this couch and tell me about your feelings.
Get all. How do you?
Just pick the thing way out.
Well, oh, dude.
That was almost bad.
I don't know. Get all Freudian on my ass.
Tell me about your feelings.
I love that. Well, hey, dude. Even if I'm still working, I'll be your caddy.
Okay.
Well, I'll at least drive the golf cart.
Okay.
Because I like driving.
Heck yeah.
I hate golf. I cannot golf at all.
I don't really like it either, but
Oh well.
I think it'd be fun. It's like
Well,
what old people do.
That's fair. And with you doing it, picking it up as hobby now, and as you're making all that money until 45, 50, then you're gonna be golden. You're gonna be freaking great, and I'll be a cheerleader.
Okay.
I'll bring Sabrina along because she's your number one cheerleader,
And
but I'll be your number two.
And your wife, whoever it may be.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I swear. If you just jinx it, no, I'm just kidding. But hey, dude, nice moccasins by the way.
Thank you.
It's a look, rolled up jeans,
It is.
moccasins, cross the legs, watch on the left, right. It is what it
It's
is.
a very similar style.
Glasses.
I know. We do well.
I know, I do. Bro, thanks so much for being on. Obviously, I love just having a conversation with you because I think we think similarly about things, but I also think I'm able to learn so much from you. Just what a great reminder it was for me tonight to hear that from you from a different stage of life. So, I don't know, man. Thank you for being
Heck yeah, man.
the first ever guest on Coffee with Conn.
Of
I
course.
really appreciate it. I really, really do.
I love this kind of thing. So
Thank you.
I love my friends doing this kind of thing. So anytime I get a chance to support that, I'm about it. This stuff is cool. I love this stuff.
It is, man, and that's kind of the reason I wanted to even do this is I love it. I don't make time for hobbies, but this has become a hobby for me, and this is an idea that I had because it's something I enjoy doing. So why not make content about stuff that I enjoy doing? So obviously we went 50 minutes, but
50 minutes,
so it was a long video, but it was valuable for
good.
me,
I hope.
and I don't know, was it valuable for you at all?
Yeah, it was good. I like this kind of stuff.
Seriously, it's real life. It's conversation.
I was nervous before we started this, but
that's fair. I was too, because obviously my perfectionist tendency was use the camera position, all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
But
this was good, dude. I really had a good time. This is great.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate you being on. I really, really do. Well, hey, thank you for watching. I hope that it brought you value like it brought Grant and us value. I hope that it was entertaining in some way. I don't know from this perspective if they even saw it. I almost hit my head on that thing. But seriously, thanks for supporting, watching this video or listening to it if you're not watching it, whatever. I just appreciate your support. I appreciate kind of just as much as I appreciate you supporting me and the stuff that I enjoy doing. I appreciate you for taking the time and energy out of your day, out of your evening, whatever, to support me in watching this. If it brought you value in any way, if there's something entertaining, something you liked about it, like I don't know, it'll be on YouTube, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So comment about something that you enjoyed, comment a question or comment a thought that you had on something we talked about. Tell Grant how cool he is, because honestly he's a freaking badass person. Yeah. No, well, I'm just saying.
No, that's not what I was looking for.
Yeah, well, whatever. You just accept the compliment.
Thank
whatever.
you. I appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks again, friends. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a great rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this, and look forward to next episode 2 of Coffee with Conn. Much love.
Oh, yeah.